was hesitant to tell this story. So let's say someone's dad bought them a car. Their dad didn't tell them that this car had a loan on it. And one day she goes down to her locked apartment garage. This person had a small meltdown that her car got stolen. The police are like, oh no, and then very quietly they're like, ma'am, your car wasn't stolen. It was repossessed.
This podcast is not financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. Get ready to laugh your assets off because this is the Lighter Side of Finance podcast. Now here's your host, Billy C.
It's the Lighter Side of Finance. Another week has gone by, and here we are once again. The show that tries to find the lighter side, the funnier side of the finances that make us all cry. That's the Lighter Side of Finance. We have our panelists with us, as always. We have Tara Jean O'Brien. Tara, I'm sure things are going well in your world. I know it's inappropriate to ask anything, but I mean, it's quite obvious. You just celebrated your 21st.
Oh yes, yes I did. It was my birthday. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. It's great to turn 21 again. Many times over.
And anything fun for your birthday celebration?
Well,
did your husband take you out?
We went up to Santa Rosa with some of my husband's buddies from his hometown of Memphis, and we went to the Charles Schulz Museum, the creator of Snoopy. I learned a lot about Snoopy. I didn't know Charles Schulz was he was in the war. We were talking about something off camera, and I'm sure he would be fine with you, JP. I don't think he would have any problems with you.
Good to know.
No, it was great. It was fun. That's what we did. And then we went to dinner last night, and a great birthday was had by me.
And that's all that matters, right?
All that
Doesn't matter anybody else as long as you had a good birthday. That's right. All that matters.
That's right.
Excellent. Let's see, JP Lambiase, you are, well, how is life, now that we've found you, how is life post-Kill Tony?
Oh, life-changing. So many opportunities keep coming my way. There's tons of bookers that have venues and bars in the middle of nowhere that want me to be on that. But no, I'm actually feeling like I did my purpose here in Austin. So I'm like, well, I think I need to just see the world again. So I don't want to jinx it, but I might be able to get myself a little Sprinter van. Just coincidentally, it's from a private investigator who has a loophole on how to avoid sales tax for the vehicle. Actually, I probably shouldn't be saying that. And
We're not surprised.
And he also told me that when he does investigations to, maybe find a serial killer, that he ends up finding other serial killers, and that there are thousands of serial killers amongst us, and that they're hunters and they're very good at what they do because they've gotten very good at the sport. So just street smarts, there's really nothing you can do to hide from it. They said has to do with being drugged. You could just be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And you're going to buy this man's vehicle?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. I think that's irrelevant to my purpose of it. But he did say to be careful when I'm traveling across country. That's all.
Why? Because one of these serial killers might have run your plate and have access to a state database.
I mean, he said that usually they have different desires that aren't motivated by logic. So, but he just said, what they do is they want to analyze your behavior. So if you're in the same place, that you're more dangerous. If I'm, you know what I mean? But then again, he did say that some serial killers, it's a lot easier when you're on highways and stuff because there's really not much going on. But that's it. That's all we talked about today.
Okay. I'm not sure where we go from there other than Clem Jameson is is here with us once again.
I think that JP might have just described part of my life. Decent hunter, motivated by things that aren't logic. I think he just named a lot of my stuff, and I'm not selling him a van, just to clarify.
Okay.
It's not my white van that says free candy on the side that I'm not selling it to him. So
that's a special van. You wouldn't want to sell that. No, but Clem, I hear that you're having a pot roast battle or something. What's going on?
Yeah, I never wanted to do roast battles ever. It's just not my style. I'm not a mean guy. I'm not a mean comic. But for publicity for my Quick Draw comedy podcast, I decided to roast my best friend and business partner in comedy. And then he got booked on a better show. So I ended up the last minute getting put up against another comic who has muscular dystrophy and is in a Stephen Hawking style wheelchair. So basically anything I said could have been construed as a hate crime. So that video, it's made its way to YouTube now.
Sure.
I posted it myself, so I'm sure it's going to be cancelable here real soon, but it was a lot of fun. We all had a good time, and he actually beat me. So you can't say I'm punching down when he beat me in the comedy roast. Just saying.
I don't know. I feel sorry for you, Clem. I honestly do. In that situation, there is no win. There is no win. Because if you win, you're still going to
He did win, though. He did win. So, there was a win. It just wasn't my win.
Well, the thing is, then you shouldn't, then is there like an equation with cancel culture that would then say, well, yeah, he's canceled, but he lost anyway. So it negates, right?
Well, see, I feel like he may be canceled instead of me because he was clearly the funnier comic and he was punching down on me. So, I'm just saying, I think there is some hope for the future. We all laughed and had a really good time last Saturday night. So
that's great.
As long as you had a good time.
Yeah.
I think you should have just leaned into it and been like, you didn't deserve to win. I was better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did that in private. We can talk about it publicly now, I guess, but whatever. He just kind of drove away. So,
I mean, you let him drive. He probably shouldn't have been driving.
Yeah.
Now I'm canceled.
Minivan.
I'm not even part of the roast.
Well, the crazy part, he drove in from Des Moines to Omaha in his own minivan. So, he's very capable.
He's doing better than me already.
Yeah,
everybody was surprised that he can drive. And I'm like, but he's been driving his whole life since he was a little kid. Just bigger car now.
Yeah, well, my mom's been driving her whole life, and she should not be driving.
All right. So our topic this week, we're talking about collections and credit counseling. And I know that this is probably something that's, I'll confess myself, I've gotten one or two calls. The joke around the house is, my name is Bill. And usually I don't want to be collected, but it works for my kids. I'm not getting collected today. But usually most adults look at me like, what? I don't get but the kids get it. Anyway, when we're talking about collections and credit counseling, JP, you're up first. What do you think of when you hear credit collections?
Okay, I would just think that you owe somebody money that you borrowed on credit.
All right.
I mean
it's pretty simple. Okay, he's got the textbook, but usually, I guess with credit collections, though, that's usually after we haven't paid what we.
Oh, okay. So I guess that would be so credit collection mean I feel like at that point you've messed up a little bit. You were late more than once. I mean, I've been late. And I don't think I've had credit collections. I think I just had an email that said you're past due. And then I think you gotta I don't know the time frame, but I feel like after a while then credit collection becomes is that different than debt collection though? Because I feel like credit collection, I feel like debt collector is a whole nother organization where the credit people can't get the money. So then the debt people come in and are like, hey, listen, we're the second line of defense here. You know what I mean? You got we're going to stronghold you to this. Almost like the mob, yeah, you want to, you gotta, we're the debt collectors, feed you to the fishes type of thing, right? But they won't do anything violent because that's a crime, right?
Right, because they wouldn't do anything criminal. Right.
Just to
Yeah,
clarify,
they would
Jake,
just.
he can say that because he is Italian. So
Yeah,
Right.
of course.
Yes,
Yeah,
right, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Not a facetious thing either. Yeah, my parents. Yep, adoption.
Yep.
Purchases.
Tara, we hear all these companies about credit counseling, because that's obviously something, we always think of what we might need after we get into those situations. What do you think is involved in the process of credit counseling?
I mean, if it's anything like being called into your like high school counselor, I didn't like it. It wasn't like I felt. This is a true story. I did pretty well in high school, and I had a meeting with my high school counselor, like your exit sort of interview, and she's like, "Well, you take a test or whatever," and she said, literally, this is true, that my number one like potential job would be a mortician. So I still to this day, I was like, oh, you said that with a straight face. I don't understand how that's for me. This was also, I think 6 Feet Under might have been on. So people were really into that. So maybe that was a compliment. I don't know. But as far as credit, like counseling, again, I feel like it's just people there to tell you what you did wrong. Even though like, I'm sure it's supposed to be helpful, but it's like if someone is calling you, like if Capital One is calling me, they're not calling me with like, good job paying it. Like they're like, you dumb, stop buying so much shit from Sephora. Like that's enough. That's what I feel like it is.
Cool. Now, Clem, what are the common items that are repossessed due to lack of payments?
Yeah, I actually had a cat repossessed one time. Fun story on this one. The cat was evil, man. And I had one of my buddies come in who was an exorcist, and we got the demon out of him. And then I didn't pay my buddy, and then he threw the demon back in the cat. So the cat was repossessed. That was a dumb joke, but it took me all weekend to write. So I hope somebody appreciated it.
That was a long way. That was a long journey, Clem.
It took a long way to get there, and eventually I'll get less words. But I think all the people I know that had anything repossessed, it was always a vehicle. Like it's always vehicles, at least for my friends. They don't make their payments, and then they wonder why they can't drive to work anymore, and then they lose their job, and then their life spirals. So that's pretty much how I see repossessions going. It's always been vehicles in my experience.
Oh, like a Sprinter van.
I think they could take. I think they could take anything. I think. I don't know. Not just.
Oh yeah, like furniture, like Happy Gilmore is a good example in that movie.
Yeah.
The grandmas, they're just ushering
Empty
stuff out of her house.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't even think. They're just like, hey, we're just gonna punish you at this point. You know what I mean? It's not even. It's like the principle. It's like not even about the money.
It's about the golf.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess anything that isn't permanently nailed down, and even those that are, I'm sure they can find a way of removing it. Like I've always wondered, those situations where things like the Rent-A-Center, where you're renting every piece of furniture in your house.
Yeah,
which it's something I've never been able to concept. I'm renting my furniture.
You don't like. Do we really, metaphorically? Do we really own anything? It's.
I will say
that's one of those.
Like one of the like when I was right out of college and I had literally no money and I was like I needed stuff and my dad's like go to Rent-A-Center and make them a cash offer for like the stuff so that's where first of all I got 2 great leather couches that I had for like a decade from Rent-A-Center for a good deal because I gave them cash up front. I'm like, see these 2 kind of moldy couches on your floor, I'll take them for $500 and they're like, that's great. It's a good deal.
I feel like what we're doing right now is credit counseling.
It is.
You know what I mean? Because like we're all kind of discussing like our turmoil. Like I almost feel like that term though is a little bit, I don't know, offensive because like no one's asking for credit counseling. Well, they're just inflicting it on you. Like you know what I mean? Like you're some moron. You need credit counseling. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It should be credit therapy.
Yeah. And then there's credit karma.
Yeah.
That's a bitch.
Wow. I did not expect a JoJo Siwa joke on the lighter side of finance, but Bill brought one in. Good job, Bill.
All right. Well, On that note, I think that it is before we dig any deeper, and all need more than just credit therapy. We bring in our guest. Our guest is David Perez, and David has worked in collections and credit counseling. He's a veteran of the comedy scene. He's from Illinois. We won't hold that against him. And David is here with us. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So are we totally insane with what we're saying? So first of all, before we dive in to the meat and potatoes, what is your involvement when you worked in collections? What kind of work was it?
Well, I collect on automobile loans, credit cards, utilities, some student loans. We basically assist the customer service reps, the collection agents, to get our money back. And this also, we want to improve the customer's credit score. Because once you don't make a payment, your credit score dips. So we're here to really assist. And we're not as bad as you think it is, but it's got to be like mutually beneficial to each party.
That is the nicest spin on debt collector I've ever heard.
Yeah. I have questions already. Sure. Like when you repossess someone's student loans, do you have to whack them over the head to get the brain, like the knowledge out of their brain? How do you take the education back?
You whack them depending on what degree they got. That's,
Okay.
Right.
Bachelor of Arts.
Perfect. Bachelor. Yeah, got it.
Learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a difference in the process between collections? Does the collections process differ between collections for secure items like a car to collection for something, say, like a credit card? Does it differ?
It does differ because with secured, it's collateral. Let's say a car, for example. If you fall behind, they're more willing to give you a deferment as long as the car's in good shape. They'll say, hey, you don't have to make any payments for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Usually it's 6 months throughout the life of the loan that you could get an extension for. They'll just extend the month that you're going to end up paying it off. So it's pay off in 5 years. You're going to pay off in 5 years in 1 month, or 5 years in 2 months, or 5 years in 3 months. So you could just call them and say, I can't make the payment this month. They'll work with you because ultimately, if you can't pay it, they'll just take the car.
Getting way too excited when he found out he might be able to defer. I just saw his face just completely light up there. So
get it Christmas.
And when you're dealing with unsecured debts, that's the credit cards. That's not tangible. The things you can't see. So when if you don't make your payments on your credit card, you fall 30, 60 days past due. They're going to call you and they're going to say, hey, we're going to need you to make up your payments, or else we're going to close your account. And then they have their own in-house credit card collection department. And then if they can't collect, then it goes to like a third party, and the third party gets a percentage, kind of like a finder's fee, to collect the balance, and they'll try to work out a payment plan with you. But by that time, your credit card's already closed out. So it's you have a little bit more wiggle room with a vehicle, because ultimately you need your car, and the company that gives you the loan for the car, they'll just repossess it ultimately if you can't pay it. So
what does the repossession process look like? Who handles it? Is it just they hire some guy with a tow truck and say, hey, go get this car?
Exactly. You're right. So so we would give you a little reminder if it's 30 days past due. We're like, hey, you have to make this payment, and we'll assume you forgot. And then after 60 days, it's like, okay, the 60 days past due, and after 90 days, it's like you just don't want to pay. After 90 days, 120 days is when it goes out for repossession. And they'll call you on the phone. They'll say, hey, we need to go ahead and make a payment. You're 4 months behind. You don't have it. They'll say, clean out the car. Nice doing business with you. And they'll come and they'll hire a repossessor, and they'll come and get your car, which, some people fight. They don't want to give up their car. Sometimes you got to go out and find it, because people be creative and hide it in public parking lots or private parking lots, public parking lots. They'll just hide it, so the repossessor has to go in and get it. I don't know if you see that show on Repossessors. It's a pretty good show, but it shows what happens. And it can get kind of dangerous too, trying to repossess somebody's car.
Military bases are a great place to hide cars. I'm just pointing that out. I had a coworker. He actually worked for me that had his car repossessed, and we was working on a military base, and he parked it there for like 90 days, and they couldn't get on base. They would not let him on base, so it ended up working out for him. And then eventually, they caught him, but that was his own dumbness. But yeah.
Oh wow.
That's a hot tip, Clem. I have to say.
It is.
Yeah, but don't you don't have any freedom.
Well, you can't drive your car except for like around base. But yeah, you there was
you got a golf cart.
They kept calling me as his boss to try to get me to convince him to take the car out there. I'm like, I'm staying out of this. You could talk to him. Here's his cell number, and then his phone would ring immediately. And
it doesn't make you an accessory.
Right?
It doesn't make you an accessory.
Well, if it does, we should probably edit this out of the podcast, but I think the statute of limitations is probably up. It was a while ago, so it might. I don't know. Maybe it's bad
speaking
advice.
Of which, how many years is the statute of limitations?
The statute of limitations, 7 years.
All right, yeah, I'm good. It was like 9 years ago, so
you're in the clear.
We don't have to edit anything.
So you could like do like 100,000 crimes and just fly to Mexico for 7 years and then just come back.
I'm talking about your credit report. I'm not talking about legal. I want to see your credit report. I don't know about the criminal.
Well, I mean, that's money. Let's just like, I have an outstanding credit score. Let's just destroy it. Let me just get out like the most max credit card balances, like 300,000, buy stuff that I can resell and then fly to a different country, just flip it all and never come back and never pay the balance.
There, lighter side of crime again here tonight.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying you could do that, I guess, right?
Purposes only.
For entertainment purposes only.
That's right.
Well, but as I'm hearing this with the story, Clem, and maybe David would, chime in with a thought on this. This is what pops in my head as, they're trying to track down this guy with his car, and you're his boss. Okay, is that like some bizarre, wicked wage garnishment? Call the boss. Hey, can you drive his car out to the front gate for us? So,
what they need? They need to get a credit counselor to go out there and talk to the guy and negotiate the car back. Come on. Give me the car. Give me the
a hostage negotiator. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Go, Bill.
That's what it comes out to be, hostage negotiation with the car's a hostage. Yeah.
Okay. I was hesitant to tell this story, but just because I was like, oh God, here we go. So let's say someone's dad bought them a car not long after college. Their dad bought this car from an auction, like a car auction. Their dad didn't tell them that this car was not fully was not paid off. That this car had a loan on it, and let's say that person, not me, didn't know.
Clearly not you.
There was money owed on this car. Okay.
Wait, Tara, whose name is the loan in? Whose name is the loan in?
Let's say the person didn't know there was a loan. Okay. So the car is not paid for. Didn't know there was a loan. And one day she goes down to her locked apartment garage, shared garage with other things, and the car's gone. And let's just say this person had a small meltdown that her car got stolen. Okay. So she calls the police in a panic. And the police are like, oh no, da 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 da. And then very quietly, they're like, ma'am, your car wasn't stolen. It was repossessed. So my question is it legal? Because my whole thing was, how is it legal to go in a locked parking garage and take this car away?
Because technically they could actually report it stolen because it's not technically your car. Second of all, if that loan is not in your name, that's technically a straw purchase, and that is technically illegal, but people look the other way.
Really? So you can't buy a car and give it to your kids and just give it to them, and that if something happens and my name's not on the loan or on the title because it's not paid off, he can't really give that to me or whoever's car this was.
The hypothetical person.
He can do whatever he wants for you, but it's still the paperwork's in his name.
Right.
Yeah.
He's on the hook for it. That's why people don't do cosigners, because he's on the hook for it. So you got to have a really good relationship, because technically we would call that in business a straw purchase,
Interesting.
which is
Yeah, I was. Let's just say again, this person was given no notice. All of a sudden, this thing happens. All of maybe the person's possessions were still in the car, so she had to do a little song and dance at the tow yard to be able to collect her belongings, and may have taken some vital things to make this car resellable just out of spite. Which is one was the wheel lock.
Oh,
Because how dare you go into my locked apartment?
you just said my.
I mean her.
Is it you, Tara?
The person, the hypothetical person.
How well do you know this person? It feels like you know this person pretty well.
She's pretty. She's pretty. She's charming.
Recently had a birthday.
I don't know how recent. I don't think she's ever had a real birthday. I don't think she's ever gotten older. But let's just say repossession is a real bummer when you have no notice or knowledge that it's happening or that it's going to happen.
Or that you even had a loan to begin with.
Or that you even had a loan to begin with. I just still maintain that it was illegal for them to come into my locked garage, and I'd like to stand by that until David just told me that I shouldn't have even had the car in the first place, legally.
No, but they got to get the loan out. They technically it's a straw purchase. So you look the other way, because you got to loan out this money, because you got to sell the car. So people look the other way. Was their car registered in your name?
In California, it was. Yeah, it was.
Okay, so it's registered in your name, but
again, her name, someone's name, not mine.
Someone. Well, ultimately, what you have is a lien holder.
That's probably.
So the lien holder has all the power.
I was just gonna ask. Everything that gets repossessed just usually goes into an auction. Is that what normally happens?
Yeah. So the car will get repossessed. It'll go into auction. And the difference between what they sold it on auction for or what you owe on the loan, that's what you'll pay. So if you owe $5,000 on the car and they send it to auction, they can only auction it off for $3,000. You're still on hook for $2,000, and it goes on your credit.
So they take your car and you still have to pay.
Yeah, because it's when it goes to auction, it's better to pay in the whole thing. That's why it's a gamble.
Who gets the car for $3,000?
The person who auctioned for it.
Who gets to go to these auctions?
This is a whole thing.
I guess you could register for them. You could go to them if you want to, but I'm not sure if you get the Carfax. The car comes as is. So
yeah. I've done one a long time ago. Bought a lemon. I was just a teenager.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's the risk you take.
Now, if we can shift gears from cars over to credit cards for a moment, something that's a little less, we'll say, invasive or severe, I guess. It actually depends on how big the credit card is. But if your card is not paid for a certain amount of time, how long does it take before a collection agency gets involved?
It's for a collection agency, I would say 90 days. And then it's a contracted collection agency. And if you haven't paid on it for like a year to 2 years, they'll probably just sell it to an actual collection agency where they'll actually own the debt, which is called paper. And they'll buy a whole bunch of debt for pennies on a dollar. So if the credit card company, could say Capital One hasn't been able to collect on you in 3 years, they'll just sell that with a bunch of other debt to a collection agency, and they own that paper. So they could call you up, and they're going to try to get the full balance. Like if you owe $10,000, they're going to try to get $10,000. By that time, you could settle out for $5,000. You could settle out for $3,000. So the older the debt gets, the more leverage you have of how little you can pay as a settlement to get it off your credit.
So keep changing the phone number so they stop calling me.
You just to avoid the collector. I remember trying to call people, trying to get hold of people. Sometimes it was difficult. They don't want to be found. It depends. If they're trying to get a house or they're trying to get a car, then you have leverage, and your credit score will go up if you settle on this. It depends where the person is in their life. If they care about their credit, if not. But this is a country that we know runs on credit now instead of actual money, because this country is based off of the money that you're gonna have, not the money that you have.
Yeah, they can't call me if my phone's been canceled because I didn't pay the bill. That's normally what happens to me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they could send you letters and stuff. They'll track you down. They'll do skip tracing. I mean, that come for you.
David, I have a question.
Yeah.
How's the privacy of these clients that are delinquent, or the people that you're going after? I wouldn't call them clients, but the people you're going after, what's their privacy like?
Well, you can't call after 8:00. You can't call on it.
What about exposing them?
Exposing the person that owes money?
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's completely illegal because there's
illegal,
rules.
yeah.
There's rules and stuff. There's rules and laws about the way that you could collect. You can only call them every third day. You can't call people every single day.
You can't harass them or slander them or put them on blast on social media. That's what I was wondering, because that'd be funny if you like a TikTok, like, you owe us. You know what I mean? Like a whole channel.
No, you can't. That's why that when a credit card company is going to give you a credit card, that's why the credit score is so important. Are you trustworthy to pay this off? I mean, sometimes that's on the company to give. They shouldn't be giving people a credit card that's got a 450 credit score. You know, so it's on the credit card company too.
Are there other means which you can contact them besides calling? Like, can you email them? Can you mail them letters? Do you ever have a stop by? I mean, I don't know. Like, what other ways can you contact them?
You could write them a letter, because they'll send you a letter, and then you could respond back with a letter if you wanted to. It's much better if you just call them, speak to the customer service department or collection department. That's the quickest way. Probably that's the best way, just to speak to somebody. And sometimes they'll even have like a hardship program or something, or sometimes the credit card companies, they'll have a deferments that they could offer you themselves. It's kind of rare, but it does happen because they want to keep you as a customer, you know.
No, I meant like the collections agent. How can they contact the people that owe? Are there other means?
Well, I used to work on a dialer, so all we would do was call people all day. Yeah, so we worked on a dialer. So we just constantly call people back. And now I'm not sure right now if you could text people or if you could email people, but when I was doing it, we were just on a dialer calling people all day.
Text would be annoying.
Yeah. Cell phones made things a little difficult, a little different.
I just had something kind of pop in my mind, and it makes me wonder about the whole financial industry in this country, because on previous episodes, we talked about mortgages and car loans and all these things, and especially with mortgages, one mortgage gets sold to another company and then sold to another company. I mean, I've been in my house, for 20 years, and my mortgage company name has changed at least 4 or 5 times.
Right.
And so you've got my debt being sold, but then when I stop paying, now somebody else is selling, my unrecovered debt now being sold around. And it's like, is there actually real money to begin with, or is it just being passed around, sold from company to company? Yeah.
Right. So companies, they want to show basically that they got money coming in, or they got like invoice. It's weird because it's kind of like called an invoice in a way. Like, we just bought this debt, so we look like a profitable company because we're going to get this money eventually. I remember when I was younger, this is how bad I was with money. I used to pay off my credit cards with another credit card.
Yeah.
That's bad, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep up, make sure.
Yeah,
okay.
well, it's called a balance transfer. So if I didn't have the money for the minimum payment, I would just transfer it to another credit card, and that would count for the payment that month. But I'd have to do the entire balance, So, and then there's some areas where people, back in the day, they used to float a check. Hopefully the check gets there at the same time the deposit gets there, or sometimes they'll say, oh, I forgot to sign the check, So, but things are a lot more automated now.
You did better than me. I just didn't pay it.
So with all this, it sounds like we would eventually, if we let things get too out of hand, and on this show we've talked about credit scores and the importance of having, a good one. That's where credit counselor would come in, right?
Right. Yeah, I've done credit counseling before. So basically, what it is kind of like, at some point the person needs their own personal CPA because they're not able to manage their own money. So you do they call you up, you do a budget analysis. You ask them what debt to income ratio is, and they have to go down what their expenses every month, and where they're getting money from, and then you make a determination if the credit card counseling program is going to help them, or they should just go to bankruptcy because there's no way they're going to pay this off. And when I did it, average person would have 10 credit cards, 50 grand in debt. It's nothing, because it's the way the country moves, that people have to buy. It's a consumer-based economy. It's a consumer-based country. So money must move at all times.
You just made my day. Finally, something I'm above average on in life.
Spend, right?
Yeah.
So what is the best way for someone to improve their credit and get out of a financial situation with a creditor?
At some point, you got to be kind of disciplined in your spending. You got to get back to make sure that you're making your payments on time. Don't use up too much of your credit limit. They want to show that you got discipline. It's basically saying, hey, we're going to go to the bar. Don't have 10 drinks, have 2. Because people
In moderation.
Spend in moderation, but that kind of goes up against America's nature of decadence. But what comes up must come down when it comes to the economy.
Or too many drinks, what goes down.
Right.
Sorry.
I wonder as you sort of said that, and I'm sort of thinking, I'm like, okay, so what if there's a magic wand and one day everybody started, like, let's just say, living closer to within their means, and they started paying their credit cards on time, and like there was no need for sort of this like secondary, tertiary like business, which is like debt collectors, the people that collect on this. Isn't it sort of like financially like advantageous to actually allow people to just keep not doing well financially? Like, credit counseling is great, and I think everybody should have it, but like, isn't there sort of like credit card companies aren't really gonna, it doesn't seem like that's like their best interest to offer that advice, because then they're not going to make the money on interest.
Well, you'll get to that point if you're, I don't want to say irresponsible, or if you have a hardship or something happens. But they want you to use the card. So if you have your credit card, you pay it off every month, they're not making any money off of you unless you're paying the minimum payment. Then they're making money off you. It's basically a loan. So all credit cards really is just basically, it's just a loan. So what you said, if everybody lived responsibly and lived within their means, then we would call it a recession.
Yeah.
I mean, we would call it, wait, what, you only buying what you need? That's a recession. How are we going to move the country if you only buy what you need?
Yeah. It just seems like America is, we're sort of set up very specifically to not make good choices. Otherwise, it all comes crumbling down.
USA.
What I've come to realize, that people want to pay for their wants, but they're not willing to pay for their needs. Because I used to do collections for the electric company. And I remember this one call, this guy was like, dude, you just turned off my electricity. He's like, I can't pay my electric bill. I'm out of money. I just paid my cable bill. I was like, well, Thomas Edison, how are you going to have cable without electricity?
Generator.
I almost quit at that point.
You got one of those bikes that generate power, so you just hit the pedal so you can watch TV.
He's Ed Begley Jr. on his like little power bike.
That's American. That's American in a nutshell. Because people want they want their needs to be just given. They're like, somebody told me you can't turn people's power off if they got kids. We can still turn your power off if you don't pay the bill. But we just get so accustomed to having our needs that they got to be paid for. But people don't budget for that because we only want to spend money on we'll be happy to spend money on our wants, but when it comes to our needs, we want to complain.
We're good at complaining.
That's our nature.
I think people are very good at complaining. If we're A+, I'm A+ at it. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah, but I agree with the fact that, we wouldn't want to necessarily put people out of a job either. So like, I think that the financial world needs people like myself that what's paying a bill on time? You know? I'm keeping them in business.
That's right.
Okay?
You're
So
valuable, Bill.
Thankful.
You are valuable.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Two credit cards.
They live off my interest. But actually, this is kind of a funny thing. Is like, though, in this country, we often are penalized if we pay everything with cash. Because for the longest time, I didn't use credit cards. I would just pay everything cash, and then I go to do something and like, oh, you need a credit card. We don't take a debit card. Wait.
Yeah, like rental cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to give you a credit card, but I don't use credit cards. You know,
Yeah.
And it's like, so okay, fine. I'll pay the interest. Because I'm not disciplined enough to, but I was disciplined enough to pay cash for everything. Don't ask. One of the things I know that I've dealt with this before, where we're getting a credit collection company coming in, and they're asking for an amount, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, who is this company? I was already working with the credit card company. Is it better to reach out directly with the original debt owner?
Yeah, if you keep making payments on it, they'll see that you have good faith and that you keep in communication with them. Even if you pay them $50 a month, work out some type of payment plan, because they'll just sell it to somebody else, and they'll just sell it to somebody else, and they'll just sell it to somebody else. I mean, they'll work with you. Your credit might be, ruined, but they'll work with you so it doesn't keep getting sold. That's what you probably want to do.
And is it better to work that off or take the settlement?
Some people make payments until they could come and they can actually do the settlement. If you don't have the settlement right now, you could just keep making minimum or whatever payment that's lower than what you couldn't pay. So if your minimum payment was like $125 and you say, yeah, I could pay you, $75, $50 a month, because at this point they'll take it because they want to make sure that you're on the books. And you'll eventually get letters, maybe every 6 months, saying, hey, if you pay this amount, if you pay this amount, if you pay this amount, if you settle it. If you have that amount, it's better off to just go ahead and settle it out. That's the best advice I give.
David,
if you can work out a settlement.
David, is there so when you were doing these calls and when you were trying to collect on these debts, was there ever anybody who either had the saddest story in the world or the funniest, best twist on why they hadn't paid up until then? And you were like, you know what? I will give you $1,000 off. Or you gave them a deal because they were I don't know, fun or funny. I'm just, again, this is for us mostly just to know if we can get out of it with a good joke.
Oh, I had this one guy. I'll never forget this. And this I don't ever feel bad about owing money ever. I called this guy. He owed Bank of America, I think it was $7,000. And I said, look, dude, give us $3,000. We'll call it even. Right? He said, no, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm like, what do you mean you're not going to worry about it? You owe us money. And I'm like, do you have a job? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what do you do for a living? He said, I'm a professor of economics. I was like, I'm done. I am done. Because he knows the game.
It's like game knows game, baby. He invented the game. He's reinventing the game every day.
The movies I would recommend people to see is Wall Street with Michael Douglas, and even though people might not like it as much, Wall Street 2. There's a line in the movie, the second movie with Shia. We're on the bus, and he's talking to the Michael Douglas, the Gordon Gekko character, and he wants money, and he's in the stock market, he's trying to get money. And Shia's character says, how much money is enough? And Gordon Gekko looks at him, the character, and he says, you think this is about money, kid? This isn't about money. It's what's the score. It's not about money. It's about the game. The game between people.
So you're right, Tatara. You just have a little charisma, and you can go a long way.
I'm just saying.
I do have a question though. Piggybacking off of that scenario, has there ever been a scenario where you've seen someone just make out like a bandit with declaring bankruptcy?
Yeah, people declare bankruptcy, but I think you can do it only twice in your lifetime now.
I only need two. I only need 2.
There's different chapters of bankruptcy that you could file. I mean, it's kind of like a moral issue. I mean, I don't think anybody really goes and does that on purpose.
I think they do. That's very nice of you, David. I think they absolutely do.
JP is considering it right now.
I don't think that it's that nefarious. I think they start out with good intentions, and when they realize they're never going to pay this off, they're like, let me just keep charging on it. You get to some point where you're just like, I'm never going to pay this off. Let me keep running it up till I hit the limit, and then see what happens. Nobody starts out that way. But in this country, instead of raising the people's wages between the cost of living and what private companies are willing to pay their employees, they came out with credit cards. It bridges the gap between the cost of living and your income. That's what credit cards do.
Say that louder for the people, David. That is so crushing.
Credit cards are the gap between the cost of living and how much companies are willing to pay you. So this give everybody credit cards to keep this thing moving. I mean, the middle class ain't nothing but a glorified lower class. Because they don't have middle class in a lot of other countries.
Apparently not in this one either.
USA.
I sound like I'm bashing, but I try not to.
No, you're just telling the truth, which is what I think the thing that we all want to skirt around, which is, I think I was told as a kid, learn how to, balance your checkbook, spend within your means, blah, blah. But really at the same time, my first day on a college campus, the first kiosk I see is free t-shirts if you sign up for this credit card. So it's the mixed messages are very strong.
It's not about the money.
When I was in college, I did that. I got a free t-shirt and I signed it for a credit card. That was a really great $10,000 t-shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very, very stylish. It really promoted Citibank.
And then they repossessed that t-shirt later. So
it wasn't my t-shirt. It was somebody's t-shirt that I knew.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Tara.
It was at the laundromat, and they had to come and get it in my laundry.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Yeah, there was a loan on the t-shirt.
Loan on our Tide Pods at the laundry.
I was going to say, it was slipped out during the Tide Pod.
Yeah. This is this whole conversation is exciting and depressing at the same time. It's odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
it's it's like a little bit of reality. We're all struck with it. Just a little bit of reality. The not the want for a credit card, but the economic need for a credit card.
Yeah, to keep America going.
This is fine. So everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Just sign on the dotted line. It'll be fine.
The lighter side of finance is so light. Look how light it is.
I mean, think about it. Nobody uses cash anymore unless you're going to the strip club.
It's a good place to turn in your dollars.
Imagine Apple Paying at the strip club.
Yeah.
Girl, dude, I like an industrious stripper would tattoo a barcode on her body and just be her Venmo.
Not a bad idea. Wow. That's actually the one thing that happened to me though on 6th Street is there's a lot of there's a lot of bums, and one bum walked by and I'm like, I don't have any cash. She's like, I take Venmo. I was like, shit. Like, you got me.
That's an entrepreneur right there.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That is definitely 2024.
We are living in the future. The future is here.
What did we do to this future?
Everything that's automated. Even look how automated money is. It's like money is in what is money. It used to be backed by the gold standard. Then it was backed by the government's word. I don't even know what it's backed by anymore. Because people don't really see cash. Cash is
hopes
basically
and dreams.
Cash is basically an IOU that represents money that the Federal Reserve prints.
I mean, we're lucky. We're living in the future, but we don't have to pay for the future till later. So we're fine. Everything's fine.
Somebody else's problem.
just not your kids. That's the big thing, you know. That's
don't have kids. It's so much easier. Sorry, Clem. It's just really
my kids had some really cushy childhoods. Let them suffer a little bit in adulthood. It's fine. It's fine. If I can live a little cushier, I'm okay with that.
But Terry, you're going to pay for it because you're 21, so you're going to have to pay for it.
That's true. It's such a burden.
Yeah.
Is that what 21-year-olds sound like?
Yes.
Yeah, that's them after their credit card debt.
I have to pay this back? Yeah.
No, actually, that doesn't kick in until you're 25. You don't know that you're in debt in 21.
37 for me. Late bloomer.
You're fine. I made the biggest. I mean, this is probably very relatable, but mine were a maxed out Best Buy card and a maxed out Target card when I was 21, and I was happy because I had a PlayStation that I bought on credit. I didn't care. Got the job done. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. You mean I can get that now? That's what I found out about a credit card. I was like, I can get that right now. Yeah, sign me up.
So it's called buy now, pay later, which is kind of an oxymoron. But
hey, I it took a while to pay later, but I was happy about the instant gratification. They got me good.
Wait, Bill, do you remember the old Popeye cartoon with Wimpy? I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. That's
exactly.
America.
Yep. That's pretty much the whole philosophy based off of Wimpy.
Yeah, but if you can't afford a cheeseburger, then you're really not budgeting properly. You know what I mean? I get the PlayStation on credit, but cheeseburger.
Hey, McDonald's is expensive now.
Yeah, have you been through the drive-thru lately?
I just wouldn't want to. I didn't rack up credit on just like random stuff. I just had an impulse buy, and I didn't have the capital to buy it. So that's kind of where I was credit carding myself. That's what got me in the hole.
All you have to do is say that you were getting into esports and it's justifiable as a business expense.
Oh, there you go. With zero income to show. Does that work when you do that? Like if you don't have an established LLC and you just like
everyone's a sole prop, right?
Hey, well, again, that goes back to the whole CPA taxes stuff. Just be aggressive, write off everything. The IRS comes around. The odds of that are slim, and if they do, then you pay it then.
Right. Not financial advice.
Not financial advice for entertainment purposes.
Right. We live up to that slogan better than anything else we got going. I'll say that.
It's just here. We're just looking right at it. Yeah. That line is just like, hello.
Yeah.
I just feel like the auditor would be like if you made a dramatic sketch film of the auditor showing up, it's like, I knew you were gonna come. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's that, like you've been avoiding it your whole life, then finally just like you face the wrath like that you set up your whole life.
I think we know what video is going to be on JP's YouTube channel next week. He's going to make that sketch. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, the auditor. That could be a movie, like a horror film called The Auditor. Oh, that'd be so good. Like a very dark.
I think there is a movie called The
Collector.
Yeah. Oh, there's a show called The Consultant. That's not The Auditor.
Consultant. That makes sense.
But that was interesting. That was an interesting show. That's all I'm going to say about that.
See, as I'm hearing this, though, I am actually like hearing the plot of a movie, or at least a scene, or a sketch, or 30 seconds, like where it's a scene from Taken. You know, I have a specific set of skills. I'm gonna find you.
Math.
You're gonna pay. Yeah. I'm gonna find you.
Yeah. And then like there's me racking up credit card bills, going, good luck. You know what I mean? Like the thing he keeps playing it back. And then instead of going into like trafficking areas, they go into like different retail. He's like trying to find a dude spending more money.
I will find you and I will audit you. Yes. So, well, David Perez, thank you so much for being a guest on the program this week. I'm sure that we've all enlightened, and I'm going to be negotiating with creditors as soon as we wrap up today's show. And I'm going to reach out to them, and so that they don't have to continuously reach out to me. But thank you, David, for joining us here on the program.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, guys.
I think the amount of knowledge David presented about the actual behind the scenes on the collection people, I feel inclined to just destroy my credit and see how far I can push the envelope.
If you want to, Evel Knievel.
Film it all.
That is in no way surprising, JP. I feel like you're teetering on the edge of like we're gonna get a call from some sort of agency.
I lost all supervision during my separation. I have no more filter nor someone to balance me out. I'm completely gone the complete other side, and I need some influence in my life to kind of keep me centered, or I will probably be in some trouble in the future.
Sorry.
He's got the fan.
But you know what? If you're in trouble, I think you could still monetize your way down. Like you monetize like the fall, and I think that would be entertaining.
I was thinking like if they allowed like GoPros in prison, I could vlog that.
You got to find what jurisdictions across the country allow GoPros in prison and get arrested.
Yeah, because I could offer them. You know, you've seen like Shawshank Redemption. It's all about offering services to people. Even if you're in prison, if you offer a service, then you're untouchable. And if I could give them some promotion for, I don't know, the prison facilities or whatnot, and shine a positive light on it.
You're like, this meal was great. You guys really don't understand.
Exactly. We're all bureaucratic.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me, David, to me, like when you see like all the CNN, like all the financial news, all the stuff, they are the professors of economics. They're these guys that have worked in finance for years. But I think like we need more people that like David, just like that are basically like, here's what America is. Here's how it works. Here's how we are all playing into it very specifically. And it's like you almost need like the bare bones, almost like rank and file somebody to explain this to us.
No, that's dangerous.
That's what I'm saying. Is like that's not going to happen. Like we're not going to see you on the evening news because if we did, things would start to change in this.
Yeah,
country.
he'd be silenced. That's like saying that's like spreading to children across America that Santa's not real. We can't do that. You can't ruin the illusion for these people. We got to keep their spirits. We got to keep their spirits up. Oh yeah, the SNL sketch I just saw it's probably an old one, but man, these adults are like, wait, he doesn't drink rum. Okay, he has milk and cookies. Like, oh.
Just saying, David, you're a dangerous man that we need on. And
I appreciate Tara. I'm with you. I appreciate the knowledge, but there's a lot out there that it's going to be a rude awakening when the reality kicks them in the face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ignorance is again. It's like getting plugged in the Matrix. You basically just presented a blue pill, red pill scenario right there.
Yeah.
David's Morpheus. David's Morpheus.
And I have to say, and you look the part a little bit.
My tie.
He's got the Benjamin tie.
Nice.
Oh my God, we've plugged in, guys. We don't know it. We're in the Matrix
We are plugged in.
Shit.
And I'm like, I forget the guy's name, but the one the trader. I'm like him, like ignorance is bliss. I want to eat that steak. I want to be hanging out with the agents. I don't want to be running from them. I want to be like, yo, what's up? Give me a T-bone.
That makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah, why fight for the resistance, dude? Just let the world work the way it's supposed to work, okay?
Like a financial zombie attack. That's
yeah. Give me that girl in the red dress. I don't know what she was in that movie, but I always had the hots for her, and it was just like a quick little thing.
Well, now
I choose the Matrix.
In the Matrix.
I choose the Matrix.
David, your voice sounds really familiar. Did you ever make collections calls in Omaha, Nebraska? Just asking.
It's possible. It's possible. I call all over the country.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. I feel like we've talked before, maybe. I don't know.
So you want to settle
on you before?
Yeah, we didn't talk, but you left me a lot of voicemails.
Okay.
I kept changing burner phones. You kept finding me. It was fun. It was a good chase. You did good.
Oh.
All right. So this week we are once again running our financial Fast Five. Now with round one, JP actually won by, I believe, a half a point.
Shenanigans.
Allegedly. Yeah.
All right, so here we are, round two, and Tara, you are up once again for the Financial Fast Five.
Okay.
As always, this is the game where the points do matter. Eventually, we'll find out a way that they do actually matter. Like our credit scores, they do matter. And we have 5 questions. Here's your first question. What do the letters IRA stand for in personal finance?
Investment retirement account?
Ooh, so close.
Oh, no. I was so...
Individual retirement account.
That seems like half a point. That's a half a point.
Individual retirement account? And Tara said investment retirement account?
Yeah, to be fair, I would have said the same thing as Tara.
Yeah, it's an investment.
That might be half or 2/3 of a point to me.
They should change it to IIRA, individual investment retirement account.
Yeah.
So that's their fault.
Let's lobby Congress now to get that changed.
I just started a movement.
Fault.
I started a movement, guys.
That's right. That's right.
But then again, is it really an investment? Well, yeah, it is an investment. It's a great investment. An IRA is an investment. That is not like a Ponzi scheme. It's not a get-rich-quick thing either.
Nope.
It's
compound
half
interest.
a point. Half a point.
Half a point.
Okay, fine.
Well, technically, if you want to be like mathematical about it, there's 3 letters, and she got 2 of them right. So that would be not half a point. That would be 2/3.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right.
Let's see. Let's see. That might be my only 2/3 of a point. So we'll see.
All right. So we got our.
It's a repeating decimal too, which is exciting. I like repeating.
I was going to
decimals.
say yes, exactly. I was going to say. I was trying to figure out: do I round it up? Do I? Yeah.
I just know I like the thought of infinity. Like it just like pi. I like pi.
I like pie.
I do as well. Apple with a little ice cream on top. All right, number 2. What is the increase in the general price level of goods and services in an economy called?
I'm sorry, one more time. Can you repeat the question?
What is the increase in general price level of goods and services in an economy? What is it called?
What is it called? Is it the GDP? I don't think that's right. I can't think of it.
It can be a very tiring subject.
Oh no.
Inflation.
Damn it. Sorry. That seems so obvious.
I mean, that's a proper response to hearing inflation.
Yeah, I know. We say it on a daily basis. What are you talking about?
Damn
All
it.
right. So, all right, question number 3. What is another name for a high yield bond that is typically issued by companies with a low credit rating?
Ooh, I know what these are not like. I'm going to say penny stocks, and I know that's right. I cannot believe how much I'm failing this week. I already know. These are like junk bonds. I don't know. I think it's a junk bond.
Junk bonds.
I got a full point.
Got a point on your tirade. All right, good.
What happened to? Is that your final answer, Regis?
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize this was that kind of game. Okay. All right.
I'm sure that wasn't a half a point.
I'm gonna Tourette's my quiz next time. See every damn word.
Off financial words, and I'm like, oh, that's it.
I'm like, what in the 401k is going on here?
All right.
I got
Question number 4. All right, here we go. Yes. In a mortgage, what is the amount of money borrowed called? In a mortgage, what is the amount of money borrowed called?
It's just your loan?
Principal.
Yeah, I have kept looking. That's so dumb. Why did I not know that?
She's got it like right in front of her too.
I'm like, I was like, the money I owe? I
don't know. All right, here we go. Question number 5. This is a multiple choice. This will be easier. This is a multiple choice. All right. In terms of assets, what is the largest bank in the United States? A, Bank of America, B, JP Morgan Chase, C, Citibank, or D, US Bank?
Ooh. I want to say Bank of America, but I'm gonna guess it's like JP Morgan. I'm thinking
you would be correct with that if that is your final.
That's my final answer. It's JP Morgan.
You would be correct if.
No, he's really.
You said it fair and square. So JP Morgan is indeed the correct answer. That is correct. All right. Bonus question. All right. Bonus question. What bank and credit card company does comedian Kevin Hart do commercials for?
Capital One. Isn't it Capital One?
Chase.
Oh, God. I feel like I only pay attention to Capital One, so that is totally my bad. Samuel L. Jackson, Jennifer Garner.
That's Capital One. Yes.
Oh, wait, what does Kevin Hart do? Chase?
Chase.
Yes. Chase.
Okay, yeah, I guess I didn't notice.
It's a shorter name, and he's a shorter comedian, so it kind of works.
Is that what it is?
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right, so our tally right now, the score to beat is 2.6 points. 2.6 points if my math
seems
is
right.
correct. I mean, technically we could say it's 2.66. We'll round it up. So 2.67.
67, yeah, 2.67.
I challenge you guys in the coming weeks to get a 0.6%. That's what I'll say. How about that?
There you go. All right. Well, that's going to wrap things up for this week's show. And we want to remind everybody too, as they're watching the show, that you can see the show in numerous platforms. So if you're catching us on YouTube, you can also find us on all the major podcast platforms. Pretty much wherever podcasts are found, you can find the audio version of the show and check out the video version on YouTube and follow us wherever you see the Lighter Side of Finance on any social media platform, whether it's banned or not.
This has been the Lighter Side of Finance podcast. Our executive producer is Billy C. Production assistance by Sam Moody. Our opening music is from BillClantonMusic.com. I'm your AI announcer. I am nobody, literally. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Lighter Side of Finance wherever you find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Be sure to visit our website, thelightersideoffinance.com. This podcast is not financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. It is intended for you to laugh your assets off. Viewers and listeners be advised.